what's this word? They've been forced into this belief that they should do what they love. I think it's nonsense. Sorry, but I believe that thing is complete garbage. It's the end of the world. I was with my friend, then I was with my friend when we're sitting. We're actually talking about this other former classmate that she had. He said she ended up taking her own life just because of the environment and the pressures. Hi guys, my name is Happy, and today I'm going to be speaking about life after matric. I think you're finding it kind of difficult, and you're wondering to yourself, hey, what am I going to do now? I've been waiting for results and all that. I too myself am waiting for my results, and I'm not sure about them, but I feel okay with the outcome, but hey, we'll see. Another thing I wanted to speak about is for people that are feeling lost, after matric. Yeah, I know it can be nerve-wracking. You've been doing this for 12 years. Also me, I've been there doing this thing for 12 years. And then now you're asking yourself, what's the next step? But then the problem often comes is people, they end up doing rushed decisions and they end up rushing their things because of environment. When your environment forces you to say, hey, go to college, go to university, even though it's not what you want deep down, but hey, you're doing it just because the family wants you to go. But I'm here to shed light and I'm here to talk about that. I think many people have been, what's this word? They've been forced into this belief that they should do what they love. I think it's nonsense. Sorry, but I believe that thing is complete garbage. And there's a reason why I say do what you love is nonsense. It's because many people, they think that in order to do something in life, they have to do what they love. But they don't realize that love fades. What I mean by that, like you could love driving, right? But then after years of driving and being a truck driver, you end up hating that thing. People love the feeling of driving, but they don't love doing something for years. It ends up becoming work and work and work, and then you end up hating the thing. Same with our careers that we choose. People, they think since they love medicine, they should pursue a career in medicine. Since they love social media like content creation, they should go to varsity and do a course on content creation. But it's really not, sometimes it's not really a good idea because you're doing something that you love, and then after that you don't understand that love fades. What I feel like that's right is you should love what you do. Another example I have is you can be a great chef, right? You can produce the best meals, but then sometimes then comes a client. That client, you serve him your best dish, and then you present to him that best dish that you think is the best, right? I present the dish to that client, and then after that, the client eats that food and says it's garbage. And after that, you're wondering to yourself, like, how is my thing garbage? And then after that, you tell yourself, no, but the thing that I do, I love it so much. I love this thing. There's no way it's garbage. You're literally having an argument with the client, telling yourself that this thing is the best, but reality, the client doesn't like that thing. And that's the thing that I say, is we force ourselves into thinking everything that we do, we should do it out of love. But sometimes love isn't the right approach. We should love our thing. As compared to, I don't know, your favorite artist that you listen to. If they had just did what they love, I don't think some of you would be listening to their music. But it's the fact that they take their effort in that music and they love that music, which is why you find yourself listening to that music. So that's another thing I wanted to speak about. And lastly, I wanted to speak about failure. I know many people, when they hear the word failure, they feel like, oh, it's the end of the world. I was with my friend, then I was with my friend when we're sitting. We're actually talking about this other former classmate that she had. He said she ended up taking her own life just because of the environment and the pressures. And for me, it was really such a sad thing because Many people also go through the same thing. They fear the thing of failure. They think that what are they going to do to their parents, or the parents going to say, or the environment. But little do they know that it's their own life and it's your own life. And failure is not a bad thing. I believe failure is a stepping stone. Many people think that when they fail at something, it means that it's the end of the world. It's not. Sometimes maybe failure is directing you to a better thing. Like me, I used to force things. When you force things and tell yourself, no, with this thing I should force it. Little did I know that this thing that I'm forcing is not meant for me. It also happens with school. People, when they find themselves not doing well in school, they feel that they should force it and do it by all means, but they don't realize that maybe life is directing them to become someone better in life. Like, for example, entrepreneurship. I literally went on a search and searched about entrepreneurship in South Africa, and then I didn't find much results, except for the guy called Vusi, or very senior, but yeah, that's the guy that I found. And when I was searching, like, hi bro, why isn't there so much videos in terms of entrepreneurship? Most of the videos you find about entrepreneurship is those garbage apps, how to make money apps, and I believe that's all nonsense. So I said, let me humble myself, let me guide people. I believe, like, let me guide people and show them that there's actually better ways, and it's not about going to college, taking the traditional route and going to college. I feel like you should do whatever you feel like. Many people, they don't have that option, like whether to choose what they want to do. Others might be pressured into going to varsity from their parents or society, saying, hey, are you going to college? Are you going to this? But little do they know it's not what the person wants. What I believe, you should do what you want, and you should have a goal in life. I'm not saying that you should completely quit school and go and smoke weed or go and partying. No, I'm saying, like, you should have a sense of purpose in life. We live in a world where now many people are now too comfortable and now too mediocre. What I want to say is you should have a sense of purpose in life. Another thing I want you to take note of, if you're going through the traditional route, you must know that the COVID-19 was something that happened, and it's something that retrenched millions. You heard me, millions. So gone are the days where a job is a form of security. I know people, they say, hey, a job is financial freedom, but I like to weigh and put my things. I don't know how is that going to be financial freedom if you find people who've been working for 40 years of their life and still poor. I don't know where's the financial freedom. Even a doctor, you think that maybe if I become a doctor, hey, I'm going to make money. But the mistake that often happens, people, they do it for the sole purpose of money. You shouldn't do things just on the basis of money. Yeah, money is important. I'm here also making this video, broke as I am, but I want to show you that, guys, you shouldn't do things out of the sole purpose of money. If I was doing things on the sole purpose of money, I don't think even my advice that I would share would be worth listening to. But another thing I want to hint to you guys is you shouldn't go for things for money. I believe money is the form of cheese in the modern day slavery. Just like back in the days where people used to be treated, taken into slave trade and then used to work for nothing. But in today's society, that modern slave trade is being introduced with the cheese, which is called money. We've now been trapped into chasing after money. There are much better ways to make money. That's another thing I'm gonna speak about more into the future. I'm not gonna tell you those money apps. Those things are complete garbage, guys. Like literally, I don't think I've met someone who became rich through those money making apps. And if you're thinking that now, since I'm done with my trip, I should relax. Yeah, relax is important. I've been going for 12 years. Like, even me, I was like, yo, it's time to relax. But you must also understand the identity you had in high school is not the identity you're gonna have going into life. Those are two separate things. And you must know that whatever you were taught in high school is not gonna apply in real life. I've been also in high school and I've been victim to this thing, but what we learn in high school is not, or in school in general, is not something that is gonna apply in life. What I learned about education makes you a living, but self-education makes you a forge. So sometimes maybe education is not the route for you. Sometimes maybe going from self-education, reading books, self-improvement can make you much more better results. Another thing, we live in a society where anything is accessible. We have YouTube. Anything that you want to learn, you can find it online. I don't think it's worth the effort going to make debt, taking loans, NSFAS, just for a college degree where you're gonna finish in five years, a course that you're gonna do for 5 years, and then you're no different than someone who also did the same course. I'm like, what I believe education is like, yeah, a copy ninja. Seems like those, if you watch Naruto, yeah, you're like those copy ninjas. You just consume all that thing, but then after all that knowledge you've consumed it after a city, and then you find yourself you're now waiting for a job, and then after that maybe you tell yourself, since I love entrepreneurship, I should do a course in business. But I feel like also there it's not so bad, right? I can't shun going to education, but then I think of it like you're going to university to learn about business, for example, from someone who hasn't opened a business, who only has knowledge. Knowledge is important, but knowledge without skills is useless. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but without action is pointless. I believe what's better, if you want to go the entrepreneurship route, open your own thing. And when I mean open your business, don't be generic. Please don't be generic and do like this or something. It's a start, right? But I don't believe like your whole life you should just open a business. I believe the right route is to open a brand. A business will make a living, but a brand will thrive in life. And that's another thing that I want to say. And another last thing I want to drop, the last golden nugget, is I want to say, guys, don't feel too much pressure. I know, yes, it's easy, yes, you just finished graduation. Many of you are feeling hopeless, you're feeling like, oh, what am I gonna do? But relax, guys, it's not the end of the world. You're still, I'm pretty sure you're between the ages of 18 to 22. Yeah, I've seen people finish high school at 23, so yeah, I can even go extend to 23, but yeah, guys, don't feel hopeless. You can still change your life even after 25. You can still even change your life even after 30. I've seen guys that've done that. And education doesn't mean it's the only way to make money. It's not the only way to make a fortune in life. I believe being a doctor, being an engineer is a slow way to becoming rich. But if you really want to become rich fast, you can build a system that works for you. And another thing I just have to say is, one of the days where a job is financial freedom, a place of comfort and security, because COVID-19 tells a different story. Like, imagine you're in a company, you're depending on that company, and then the next day you're hearing, hey, you have to get out of this job, no more one job, and you don't have any source of income, because I believe income is very important. I believe that that's the soul-driven thing in this world, is income, much more ways to make income. Another thing I'd love to say is, throw away your pride, guys. If you want to do something, throw away your pride. Your pride is something that kills you. I had many people come to pride and say, oh, you're shy. Say, oh, shy. Also me, I was shy. I was starting this thing, I was like, oh, should I even do it? But then after I started doing it, I just got used to it. So throw away your pride. Also, in terms of pride, I used to sell sweets at school, and I believe that gave me one of the best lessons. It's selling. Because if you're also selling something, getting in a relationship as a guy, you're selling yourself to a friend. Whenever you want something, you're selling the decision of yourself to get the thing. This is why I say at least I learned one of some of the crucial skills. And yeah, guys, don't feel lost. It's just life after matrix. It's just like life. The parents are still there. For those who don't have parents, I'm sorry. Yeah, it hurts, but you're not alone, guys. Know that you have the Lord up there with you, guys. He can also guide you in this life. You're not alone. I don't believe you're ever alone. I believe somewhere, somehow, you're always with someone. For me, personally, I believe in the Lord, and I know that He will be with me. But for you guys, it can be your religion, I don't know, religion, but know that you're not alone. Somewhere, somehow, you're with someone. And another thing is, don't do it alone. Don't do things alone. Have a friend. Another problem with us is we wanna have friends. Like when you have a pile of like garbage, like wet garbage, like if you're carrying around wet garbage, those are your friends. They never think of the future. They never think of other things. They're just always thinking of partying and drinking and girls and spending money. And please cut off those friends. I believe it's better to find a friend where one wants to develop better, wants to develop better. It's much better to have a friend. You do much more if you're having someone who's always going to bring you back and down. I believe sometimes you prioritize quality over quantity. So it's also important to have a friend. And another thing I want to say is learning a skill. Guys, learning a skill is very important. You should learn a skill when you bring value to someone. Bringing value to someone is what drives the world. You can't just consume your whole life. At some point you have to be a producer if you want to make something happen. So yeah, chase after also bringing value into this world. And yeah, it can be anything, guys. We live in a world where it's much more easy now to make money as compared to days where there's so much money. I know I've been saying that's the last thing, and people are like, he's been saying it's the last thing. He's been saying it's the last thing. But like, obviously, guys, I'm just saying it out of a place of looking out for you guys. Sometimes it's the advice that we need that can save us years of our lives. So I'm very sensitive to this matter. And I would like to also say is, guys, you must also understand forming good habits, like exercising, reading a book, things that will bring value to you. It takes time. It's not easy. Nobody wants to go out when it's raining and take a job. Nobody wanna pull weight, and nobody wants to do all those hard habits. We rather sit at home and watch Netflix. We rather sit at home and consume content the whole day, eat all the donuts. But you must understand you're harming yourself. Sometimes you might not see the harm. Yeah, you might say, this feels good now. But look into the future. If you drink energy drink every day, do you think not even in 10 years, in 2 years' time, your body is still going to be functioning in the way it was? So sometimes you must know learning a skill, coding, anything, reading books, going to exercise, those good habits, they are not easy, and they are not easy for a reason, because they last. But watching a movie, watching Netflix, or being distracted in general from purpose, it's very easy. It's very easy to get into, but it's very hard to get out to. I was also a victim of playing games. I used to play games. I used to play games, but I look back now and that thing hasn't brought me anything. So another thing I'd like to say is, guys, don't be too much distracted into all these modern distractions. If you understand what's the purpose of all this TV and this music, is to keep you away from your purpose. Is to keep you distracted from your purpose and never realizing your purpose. It's like you are trapped in a box where you're happy, you're entertained, you're comfortable, everything. That's a job, but you don't end up realizing your purpose. It's only after you're old, then you tell yourself, I wasted my years and it's too late. I believe sometimes in life you should enjoy life while you're still young. As young as I am, it's more enjoyable than when I'm 60 years old. That's when you take the education system. You work till you're 60 years old, get a pension. Most of your life has happened there. They don't tell you most of your life has happened. They don't tell you how many people get retrenched on a daily basis. They don't tell you of the no control that you have whatsoever. Sure, having a job, the positive part, you don't have much stress, but you must know that you're in a place where one day you can get kicked out of. But I can't shun having a job also. There are many people there. There are people out there who are chemical engineers making 50K a month, and then they're happy with that amount. Yeah, But if you know that you want something more in life, I believe you should pursue what your heart tells you. Don't pursue what me I just told you and say do entrepreneurship, quit school. No, you don't have to like quit job for trading. That's nonsense again. If you ever find yourself saying, hey, I wanna do trading, this guy told me, hey, pursue what I want is trading, and then you quit your job, big fool. You should use your job as an income. Remember, income is important. If you wanna do trading, to your job as well as your trading, you balance both. And then you should, if you wanna start a side hustle, you have a job that's giving you income, and then you start your side hustle. Even with school, when you work on the side, you can go to school. But the problem I always have with school is you are doing a course sometimes that provides more relative value. What I mean by that is if you find yourself going to do a degree in arts, like how many people, millions of people also possess that same thing in arts. You see the thing that I'm saying, but things that provide relative value is you have to find it for yourself. Like becoming a producer. If you know people, they often think that for them to make an impact in the world, they have to think of something innovative and creative. No, it's not all about that, guys. You can simply make a product better. Same like Uber, for example. Before in the days we have our taxis, we have those people they don't even have. But then after that, South Africa said no, not South Africa, but America. But the concept of brought to South Africa. The Americans thought, no, why don't we do Uber? It's more reliant, it saves time, and people know when the taxi is going to come, or the cab is going to come. And that concept was brought here in SA. And now Uber is making a killing. It solved the problem. It didn't have to create something new. You see, that's what I'm saying. It didn't like have to, what I mean by that, like it didn't have to think of something innovative. Like Albert Einstein, my favorite, as well as Thomas Edison, built the light bulb. I think he didn't even think of that much innovative thing. He just developed the light bulb into something better. So I believe you should also develop things, and you should know that, guys, it's not the end of the world. You can still change your life around, and you must know sometimes the things that you do in life, you have to be committed into it. You can't tell yourself, speaking and telling yourself you'll do it, you're not doing anything. If I spoke my way into saying, I'm going to do this YouTube channel, I'm going to do this channel, time is passing, guys. You don't understand, time is passing. It was years ago, I was 10 years old, and then I became 16, 2 years ago. Now I'm 18 now. Maybe in 5 years' time, I'll be 25, still in the same house, still in my mama's house, and still having nothing. So another thing I want to say is you must understand, don't pressurize yourself, but time is moving, guys. Time is going. Sooner or later, you will find yourself same position, you will not find life, and I don't want that for you guys. If you feel like going to the traditional route, going to college, getting a good job, and all those things, that's you. It's your opinion. You know, some other people, you can give them the blueprint to success. You can say, hey guys, this is the plan. This is the plan for having a successful life. Hey guys, here's the blueprint. But other people will be looking at the black. Hey, I went to, like, there's a doctor we sent, he's saying, hey, I did all this learning for these 10 years and all these things. How can you tell me that education is just a slow way to becoming rich? By talking nonsense. Those people are struggling financially. So that's why I said we can't shun the education system. We still need doctors. Heck, I could be in an accident today and I need a doctor. So entrepreneurship is not the only way to means of life. You can do something else. You can follow your passion, but remember, don't do it out of just doing what you love. Love what you do. You should love what you do. You should put effort in the things that you do. If you just do it on the basis of passion and love and everything, you're gonna end up that love that you had initially for the thing, it's gonna fade. So I wish you everyone good holidays. And I know when the new year starts, it's going down, emotions are going everywhere. But you must just know whatever decision that you make now, it has the horsepower to change your life. Whatever decision you make today, it has the trajectory to change your life going into the future. So make sure you make choices that will lead you to the life that you want. Remember, poor choices lead to poor lifestyles. Rich choices or better choices lead to a much more significant, better lifestyle. So the choices you make today have the horsepower to change your life. Thank you guys. Just wanted to share my perspective on life after a trip. Wish you great holidays, and please like and subscribe. Even think like and subscribe. But yeah, thank you guys. Subscribe is your option. If you wanna subscribe, you can subscribe. But yeah, I just wanted to give you my advice and maybe change someone's life who was feeling lost. Thank you so much, guys.